I was recently asked today, why is it that religious people enforce their beliefs on others? Why is it that religious people think it's okay to say, well, the Bible says this, so therefore we need to have this law or this rule? And we have a separation of church and state, right? But I want to shed light on one simple point. That if you believe in a society having laws, and if you believe in authority being enforced, then you already have a kind of religious belief that you think should be enforced on others. You believe that your belief should be enforced on others. But it's I just believe in things like don't murder, don't steal, well, that sounds a lot like the Ten Commandments. There's a lot of us who think that we have neutral beliefs that aren't based off of any religion, beliefs that aren't based off of any kind of belief. We have morals and ethics. Well, those are paradigms that you have. You may be a humanitarian, you may be an atheist. It doesn't have to be religious. It comes from a subjective experience. You have a subjective experience, and you think the world should be run a certain way. If you believe that one person should not kill another, and you believe that people who want to kill people should be put in jail, then you have a belief that you want to enforce on others. Right? And I'm not saying we should. Humanity is going through an evolutionary process. We came out of the wild. No law. Right? Just the law of nature, what can and can't be done. And we've created society. We've tried to organize things to be better. And you can see that in some ways they are. In some ways they're a lot worse. You go to North Korea, definitely not a better place than the wild. You go to America, well, that's debatable. Probably depends on what class you're in, how well off you are, what birth situation you got. But we're trying. We're trying to make things more harmonious. We're trying to make things more safe, enjoyable, pleasurable, lovely. We're trying. And humanity has an opportunity as we realize more and more of what we are and what's going on, as we pause and we're still and we start looking around and saying, what's really going on here? And we start letting go of some of the original rigidity of fundamentalist type beliefs, of religious beliefs. We start to let go of those things. Realizing that, well, everything that I believe, I'm determining that. You may give it an authority. You may say biblical code. You may say, Allah told me. You may say it's the path. It's the one way. You whatever you say, even if it's just from a materialistic point of view, a humanitarian type perspective, it's a belief, it's an ethic that you have decided upon subjectively. And that's okay. Human experience is subjective. It can't not be. There's no objective part of our experience. There are consistencies. You can be more and more consistent with your experience, and you can have experiences that are harmonious and consistent with others. And oftentimes, to the degree that there are a group of people that have a consistent, harmonious belief, they believe we have the truth. That's not true. It's true in that context. It's true to those people. It's true to the degree that it's what they observe and what they perceive. But it doesn't mean it's the only way it has to be. And so, I don't believe that religions should enforce their beliefs on people. I don't. And I believe that people who do not have a claim to religion, who are interested in law and order, I think that they should probably start toning down how much control they want to have. There's lots of things that we could get into on that. But for now, humanity is a species that kind of needs some structure. We need order to a degree. I don't think ultimately we do. I think that down the road, as we progress and we evolve, from what I have seen and experienced in my own life, from my perceptions and visions of reality, I think that there's a pretty cool future for us. I think there's some pretty amazing possibilities. But if we're going to have those possibilities, we are going to have to wake up to who and what we are. We're going to have to look around and see that we're not strangers here. This isn't a foreign place. This is our place. And we made it this way. And that we're going to have to figure out, we're going to have to develop in a way that's going to allow us to structure things the way that we want them to go. But how can we do that if we don't first look within ourselves and make ourselves the way that we want it? If you have a salt shaker and you pour it everywhere, things are going to taste salty. If you're a pepper shaker and you pour yourself everywhere, things are going to taste peppery. And what I'm saying is that what the qualities that are within you, how you feel inside, the parts of you that are the way they are going to have an effect. They're going to spill out into your world. And that's why it's important that if you want things to go in a direction out there, that you first take care of them in here. If you want other people to radically accept you and not force their beliefs on you, you're going to have to radically accept them and not force your beliefs on them. And that's scary, because there's some pretty crazy people out there, aren't there? So I'm not saying that we should do away with law. I'm not saying we should do away with order. What I'm saying is that those things will naturally dissolve on their own if we set our attention on ourselves, we go within ourselves, and we honestly look at what we want and what we're doing. We honestly evaluate the fact that, okay, yeah, I do want beliefs to be enforced. I just want my beliefs to be enforced. And you have to accept that. I want my beliefs to be enforced right now. There are certain laws that I like. I enjoy them. And there's always a path. There's always a slow evolution. We can be radical. We can be crazy. We can say, have no police officers. We could say, no educational institutions, no government. We could do that, but I don't think any of us, well, there are some of us, absolutely. But I think a lot of us see that that's not going to be the situation we want. How about we slowly grow in the direction that is diminishing the amount of authoritarianism and increasing the amount of liberty and awareness and intelligence and beauty to the best we can. And let us accept that first we have to look within ourselves and make ourselves the way we want. And when we do that, then our influence on the world will be in the direction that we truly want to go. But if we're unconscious of ourselves, if we don't realize that we are just like the people who we want to control, maybe to varying degrees, right? A very religious person is probably a little bit more extreme than an ethical humanitarian, but not always. We all vary in the degrees of this, but it's still the same principle. And we can collectively look at where we are right now and what we want and be honest with ourselves, be honest with the amount of control we want, be honest with that, and we can grow slowly in the direction of letting go of that control, of accepting that things are the way they are, and becoming aware of who we are. That's very exciting. This is my channel, The Voice of Melchizedek. I have found something within myself that I want to share with others. Something very precious and valuable to me. So I'm just going to be in this little tiny corner of the internet. Very, very tiny. I am 2 of my 3 subscribers right now. But for anybody who's interested, I want to share my perspective. That's all it is. It's just a perspective. But it's a beautiful one to me. And I want others to have that opportunity I want to share whatever I have with in myself with others, for whoever is interested and wants it. So if you're interested, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to continue to ask questions to people and answer them from my perspective and how I see things. And I hope that you have a good day.